How's it going?
Oh, good. So I just
Sounds
need
like
to debrief with you guys about how things went today during the peer-to-peer. What have you guys liked so far about the peer-to-peer?
well, I've done this before, so I always love this stuff. And I've heard a good bit from Allie, even though I did most of the talking. But just her responses and her engagement were great. I loved it.
Yeah, I liked the fact that I got to meet someone else who has the exact same position I do instead of, coach or facilitator or YSP. It was nice to meet another FSP.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mark, I know that what you would like to have gotten out of this peer-to-peer is to learn a little bit more of a new perspective and to be more individualized.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me like what lessons that you've learned talking with Allie during the peer-to-peer?
Well, one of the things that when I first started and was training is that some of the testing that Adelphi Village does, I don't know if it's a high fidelity rap or anything, but it's our learning methods. And my learning, one of my strongest learning methods is to bounce things off people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a social learner, so
Awesome.
and just being able to communicate back and forth with Allie helps me to internalize, what we're talking about. And so, just even your responses and questions you ask help me to. It reaffirmed what I know and what I've been doing, but just knowing that it's kind of like reaffirming it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And Allie, like you wanted to learn a lot more about the FSP role and how to explain it and everything. What lessons did you learn with your peer-to-peer with Mark?
A lot of things that I wrote down here in taking my notes is a lot of quotes that he said, like that he says to the family, like, tell me your story. We do something no one else does.
Mm-hmm.
He said to have, like an empathetic, listening ear, things like that. Gave me some keywords to focus on. I think I have a good bit of notes from my elevator speech.
Good.
Awesome. That it sounds like it was a really, really good peer-to-peer. What strengths do you guys see in each other after talking with each other during the peer-to-peer?
I definitely think that Mark has a good relationship with all of his families, and he definitely has some good connections, and I think that helps them a lot. He considers them as actual families and people and not, consumers, numbers on a spreadsheet. So.
Awesome. And what strengths did you see with Miss Allie during the peer-to-peer, Mark?
Hold on just a minute. My facilitator's interrupting me here. What I saw is that Allie's coming into this role with a good attitude, a good positive outlook, and some life learned experiences that I know is going to be very, very helpful.
Awesome.
And she's a good listener.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad. Is there any other additional needs that you guys need based around the plans that we put in place for the peer-to-peer that I could help you guys with?
I just finished telling Allie that I hope we can communicate more.
Okay.
I've been benefited in my growth by other FSPs that I've worked with and know, as well as I mentioned to her like Dave Ozias and Tanya as trainers to use those people that you have access to for what you need.
Okay. Awesome. And that's definitely something we can always set up because we're so close with you guys.
Yeah.
We can always pop over to Fayette County, or, you guys can always come over to our little town of Greene County, and
Yeah.
we can always have lunch and
Yeah.
and communicate.
You're
and
not that
stuff.
far away.
Is there anything, Allie, additional needs that you would need from the peer-to-peer?
Nope, I think I got everything down that I need.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mark, for doing the peer-to-peer. I appreciate it.
Okay, Lisa, thank you. Bye, Allie.
Bye-bye.
We're still recording. Okay, we're good. So I just want to debrief with you real quick based around, lessons learned and everything. You said you did learn a lot from it. Based around the whole peer-to-peer, is there anything else in addition that would help you with explaining your role?
No, I think I've got it.
Now,
I need to put it all. I basically just have a handful of notes and things that I just need to compile into my elevator speech.
okay. And maybe what we can do is, since you got so much additional information from him, we can continue on your PDP doing like behavior rehearsals in regards to it, just to kind of help you with getting your flow back. We do need to talk a little bit about your live demonstration you did with your husband. What strengths did you see based that you felt that you had with it?
I think the biggest strength that I have with it right now is that I'm comfortable in explaining it. I just need to make sure that I have everything.
And
Other than that, I was pretty comfortable explaining. Getting more and more uncomfortable as
you work
talk
through
to
it.
someone or, read some training or watch a video.
And I know one of your concerns was that you didn't want to sound like you were reading the whole time. And when I watched it, I didn't think you were reading at all. I'm not sure if you were or not. It didn't sound like you was reading it. You were very confident. You was able just to nicely flow through it. And I agree with Mark with the whole thing of like, you came in with a great excitement and wanting to help, and not necessarily wanting to get in there and fix them, but wanting to help them. And you can definitely see that whenever you do your role explanation, and it definitely sounds like you have a really good understanding of what your role is. Now I know with our measurement strategies, at the beginning of our coach circuit, you said you were at a 5. Where do you think you are right now?
Probably. I think I'll know better. I'll know more once I have an actual elevator speech. But right now,
I think you do have an elevator speech with what you did with your behavior rehearsal with me and with Justin. We can always continue on if you want with the coach circuit and until your strategy is met. But where do you think you are right now?
I don't know, like a 7 or an 8.
7 or 8. You did say you wanted to be at a 10.
Yes.
So I know maybe just continuing to practice with you, giving you some time, because I know that was one thing you did say you needed was some time to just kind of write it down. And of course you got some more information from Mr. Mark here. So maybe what we can do is in a week we'll touch base on the elevator speech.
Okay.
Sound good? Okay.